So audio is rolling.
Yes, audio is rolling.
And video's rolling.
Yep, and then all you have to do is do the thing.
It's cue the intro.
Hey.
And we're live.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
What's the
Whoa.
Whoa.
Calm down. Calm down. Wait, no, don't stop it.
Everything for no reason.
Garrett can fix this.
Garrett, you're up.
Hold on. Stop it. Quit it. What am I doing? I can't select the intro. What's wrong with here?
Oh no.
All right, there we go. Woosah.
Let it be. Let it be. Because I have on a Beatles shirt.
I thought you were playing with your nipples.
Whoa. No, I was doing the
All right, so
check the Beatles out.
Garrett for real this time. Cue the intro.
Hey.
And we're live.
Yeah.
What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray,
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
and this is the No Rhyme Podcast, where we talk about everything. Everything for no reason at all.
Hey.
And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy. I should have did that differently. TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme Reason Podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
With
This is what I
no
should have done.
unneeded
right?
echoes.
So I should do this,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right?
Have our faces and things.
Faces
In
and
the frame.
things.
Dang it. The production quality is terrible.
Why did you give it an announcer voice? Yo.
So I should do this
Right.
here, where, during the intro, once the intro completes, and then, our faces pop up, right? I should give it a transition, a nice little show transition for it to,
Phrasing is hilarious to me.
what is it? Slide or swipe? Slide, I think.
It's slide.
Slide
Slippity
up.
slide.
Right.
And then, we're there.
And then it's a hide transition, right? We don't really need a hide, but, just in case. Just in case. Just in case. And so,
Okay.
and then, while the intro's ending, right, we can pop this back up. Right?
Hey.
Boom.
And we're there.
And then we go to our regular screen like that.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Huh.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah. So we're finally ready.
We're back.
We're currently live streaming the behind the scenes. So if you're watching this, thank you for watching this. I won't address you anymore because you really don't exist right now.
Shout out to our Facebook. Shout out to your Facebook, but it's our Facebook.
Yeah.
Shout out to Facebook, YouTube, and
business.
the Twitch. Because now we multi-streaming. We not just single streaming. You can find us on whatever device you have,
Yeah.
easily or difficultly, depending on your, so pick your fun. Choose your adventure.
We're also live streaming on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to subscribe to this on whatever podcast application that you listen to.
Because we own all
If
of
we
them.
put it out on time.
We did.
And
I know 139 was a little late. Sorry, y'all. But 140 came out on time.
and so we will deliver some audio to you, potentially.
rudeness.
We're supposed to be a podcast. Anyway.
We are indeed. But also, hopefully, if you're watching live, you get to check out the growth of Studio Prime.
Studio Prime, yeah.
It's growing.
Can you mute me for a second?
Yeah, of course. You are muted. As you done playing with your mics now? I mean, that's what you were doing. You were playing with your mics now.
Good luck with that, bruh. I'm focused, man.
Also, be sure to send us some messages in NROR podcast@gmail.com. I do check it. I lie.
That's your new thing is I do check it.
I mean, I want to encourage people. So far, one person has sent us a lovely email and we read it on the thing. And if you want to also have some things redded on the podcast, we can read it when you send it. You just have to send it.
Just gonna look off.
So stop being hateful and send your stuff.
Send your stuff.
So we both can read it, and I'll pretend not to
care.
Yeah.
But you do. That's the whole thing. Just come on.
Yeah. Also, any comments that you have, be sure to put them in the comment section. Be sure to rate our podcast on your podcast streaming app so other people can find us, and hit that like button. Again, subscribe and put your comments in our email so we can read them off.
Yeah, and be sure to give us 5 stars. If you give us 4, I'm inclined to believe that you're a hater.
I will find you. I was kidding. I'm kidding. Let's go to the first topic. So this one is super tragic, so I want to woosah a little bit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to lead with this because I didn't want it to be, just kind of buried in our topics and just kind of smack dab in the middle. I don't really want to speculate about the incident that happened at the Travis Scott concert in Houston. But I do want to say rest in peace to the individuals that are on the screen right now. I'm not gonna read off names because I just don't want to
butcher anybody's names, and I want to honor those that were lost. But in the tragedy, if you haven't heard, Travis Scott had a concert in Houston. During this concert, there was kind of allegedly a huge mosh pit where people were getting compressed in the mosh pit. Mm-hmm. People were trying to get the attention of some of the staff and people that were involved in the show, and without they weren't successful. And so, therefore, 9 people passed. Coincidentally, I feel like I missed somebody, so it may be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, because I feel like there was there not a 9-year-old?
There was a younger person, so I apologize. I left that name out of here.
It was also, just to clarify, and I'm asking because I am ignorant of the Astroworld stuff, but didn't something like this happen last year? Or
I don't know.
At another Astroworld concert or something like that? Or at least that's what the socials were saying, and I always kind of like say that with the exact tone it needs, which is I'm asking you because you would have researched if you knew, and I'll just research later. But anyway. A couple things with all of this. The first thing is y'all are wanting to be outside a little too bad. And I'm not doing this like as a attack on the people that went to the concert. You should enjoy a concert. But I think that a lot of the held in energies that we've had over the past year and not being able to like go to our favorite festivals and things of that nature in the way that we're used to added a little bit to that. Because I think that I realized that yesterday I was going stir crazy. Like I work from home currently, and so I'm always trying to put things together so I can kind of figure stuff out. So either I'm working on trying to get my Twitch stream up, the YouTube up, the podcast, something. And I don't get out of the house too much. And yesterday I was just sitting and I was like, we just had to get out.
And so we went out and we drove or whatever. But I know if I'm feeling that way off of a couple of days, I can only imagine what kids and concert goers could have been feeling at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that contributes a bit, because I never want to lay all of this on the artist, because so many people will do the whole your music causes this and your music causes that. I feel like it's the same conversation as video games.
Well, I mean, there is some responsibility.
Yeah. I'm just specifically pointing to the music.
Got
you
it.
know, like
the music doesn't.
People always make it the music, and it's like, no, it's kind of the atmosphere that you create at your concert, which is a completely different thing. We know that from performing. How we make a song is different from how we perform a song, is different from
the reaction.
The reaction. And it's always tragic in these situations. Like, I don't know honestly what people end up wanting people to do. I know that there was like huge criticism of his apology, which I didn't see, don't care about.
In this instance, people wanted them to stop the show,
right?
Which should have happened. I think.
Wait, did they finish the show?
Allegedly, they kept performing, which is the problem, which has led to the tragedy. So people were being compressed.
Mm-hmm.
People feeling uncomfortable. The show continued. That's the conversation, and this is why the liability is there. Is because, quite simply,
mm-hmm.
if you're the performer, there's a chance that you can control the crowd,
right,
by simply stopping the show.
Yeah,
and as a performer, we know that we get tunnel vision. So
mm-hmm.
It is a little bit difficult to communicate with people that are trying to like negotiate that. But they're like, you should have a crew around you. You should have people that are involved in the process
mm-hmm.
to be able to stop you, right? If you have an in-ear communication system, you should have a way to stop that, or get a hold to the DJ, stop the music, or get a hold to somebody.
Yeah, and the thing about it,
that's in control.
That's also interesting in a sense of just discussion and curiosity. I've seen my shows.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't, unless there's reports that are going unreported, which it could be from, you know, like the rock shows that are the closest to how they kind of mosh and stuff at his concerts. I don't see those things happening, or haven't heard a report of those.
Can get out of control.
No, they can get out of control. I mean like they get out of control all the time, but maybe somebody goes home bruised, but I don't know how many times has. And is it just because it's Travis Scott that we're getting all of the, you know, the mention of it? Do you think?
Maybe that's some people's perspectives, and some people are like, you know, he deserves the blame simply because he's
the artist.
He's a hip hop artist, so maybe some of that is there. But ultimately, I don't believe that. I believe the onus comes down to, if you know this is the nature of your show,
right?
No matter what genre you're in, there should be some elements of control, or some
safety precautions.
Yeah, some safeguards.
Yeah, and that's what I was basically saying, because with those other concerts, I don't ever like, and that's why I was asking. I don't see this issue, so I don't think it's a. Again, it's not the music. It's not what's going on. Moshes have happened. People have rushed the stage. You know, for years, people rushed the basketball courts after games. You know,
mm-hmm.
after upsets and all these other things. And I don't know what the move is, because the way that they're talking about it and everything that they've shown, this is a common occurrence. in terms of like the energy or the way that his shows go on. So either you're not taking notice of that, or you're giving too much credence to excitable people who have the same kind of tunnel vision that you do.
I think the biggest issue here is that the crowd kept advancing forward towards the stage, and I'm gonna assume in this particular situation has to be different than every other situation. There was no clear separation between folks that are moshing and folks that are
just watching
and want to get a little bit closer.
And it's your event. I think that's the biggest. I think that's the other part of onus and percentages in terms of it being, you know, on him, on the crowd or whatever, is this is your event. It's not like it's, you know, Bonnaroo or Rolling Loud or wherever, where they understand that they're not only dealing with one person's fans. This would be like, if this happened at OVO Festival, it would be on, you know, it would be on Drake. It wouldn't be on whatever vendors and all this other stuff. So
they have some he has some partners involved too, right? Like, so
that
does make a difference.
I don't want to leave them out, but I also want to, you know, condolences to all those that were lost. I hope that there are changes made. I also hope that we don't get so caught up in trying to cancel Travis Scott. Is
that a thing?
Oh, the thing is, like, A, that's a thing. B, they made him an ASAP Rocky the same person.
Wow.
That was a thing.
It should be canceled because of mosh pits. I don't know about
you know, well, I think it was like they're trying to cancel because of his response. Like, apparently his apology, like he was crying like Kyle Rittenhouse or something.
So he was crying?
Apparently. Like,
but what's wrong with that?
I don't at this point, the internet will never accept an apology. They will only accept,
they will pick it apart,
you groveling for the rest of your life until they're never satisfied.
But that's the internet, though.
Yeah.
We shouldn't take the internet seriously.
No, we should never take the internet seriously, and I'm glad that that's not like the pushing point. But again, condolences to all those that were lost. I pray that there are changes made, because we as artists do have an onus of changing the environment and understanding the environment that you create, energy or otherwise. If this is the type of shows that you create, then you need to make sure that there are safety precautions. And also, it's not to say that he didn't try, so I'm not going to do that either. Because they obviously video did come out of at another concert. Somebody passed out. He noticed, he gets help to the person. And, you know, we can't villainize somebody in a way of making it seem like they never made any attempts whatsoever. But in this regard, like, you made a mistake. Take onus for this huge mistake. Make changes going forward, because it is important that you do.
Yeah. And I don't think any of his concerts are going to be the same from here on out.
No.
Right.
Y'all got to sign all kinds of waivers. Trust me.
Okay. So, next topic.
Yeah.
The Harder They Fall.
Man.
Have you seen it yet?
Yes.
Just in case we do talk about anything, spoiler
Came out
alert.
the day before my birthday.
Heads up. What are your first impressions?
Amazing. I need more.
I need more than that.
I need more. Not more than, like, I need more of these.
I need more than amazing.
Man,
a breakdown of your impressions.
So, okay. So it is quite simply one of the best movies I've ever seen. But not
That's a lot.
But not just because of the shots that they chose and the movie. The way that they did a movie, it basically says to me, and this was Kanae's point. She said, "Hey, Quentin Tarantino, take notes." Because this was a black Western, which you tried to do with Django, that did not have to say the N-word. Never said it. Even the one half mention was cut off.
Got it. Yeah.
You know, like, that was beautiful. The story arc was beautiful. The fact that it is an actual story. that they created, because like while the Cowboys were real, I don't think the conflict and everything that happened between them was real. I think that was more of the reimagining aspect of things. But to use actual black cowboys who existed, to use the scenery, the settings, the way that they use the field and views, it was so poetically beautiful. And I was just incredibly impressed by this movie in ways that I'm like, I need more of this. I need more directors to try this, to try just our black stories. And like, I would be fine with if you continuously pick, because anime will do this sometimes. Like they'll use a Pecos Bill, or they'll use all of these people that you are familiar with in, you know, whatever character display that they want to use them in. So I want to see us in, you know, I just had this thought the other day about seeing a black kid or black family like with dragons. Mm-hmm. Or something like that, you know, like, because I'd love to watch one of those epics, but with us, mm-hmm. because all of this stuff is fictional. Outside, like the only reason people have feelings is because the Crusades were a thing, and so it's like, no, again, there may not have been black knights, but there are black people in armor somewhere, you know.
Well, I mean, I think. So number one, my impression is, you know, this is dope. The cinematography was great. The cast is super great.
Super great.
I think a lot of the storyline and the elements that were kind of surprising, and I felt like there were more opportunities to tell a story in a different way during this film. And ultimately, what it gets to is, yes, there should be more black film, more stories to be told. I think what it opens up is the reality of there are plenty of black myths, folklore, folktales, fairy tales, and so forth, that need to be told.
Yes.
That need to be funded. And it's time to kind of open up the wallet to be able to do that.
Just time to dump it out. And Netflix, with all that talk you was doing about supporting black artists and everything else, keep it going. Like, this is just the start of it. In connection to this, Blackish is on its last season. And Anthony Anderson was on The Breakfast Club, and he was mentioning that, you know, it wasn't because they wanted it to be the last season. It was because of ABC's budget. And, you know, it is an expensive show to make. Mm-hmm. But they're more so making the choice. Like, you know, they wanted to go 10 years or, you know, or more. Because if the people still want to do it, that's what always kills me. Like, Blackish hasn't lost in popularity.
Yeah. And why couldn't a show go 10 years? I think we've had The Simpsons on
for over 20.
And I don't know that storyline there's nothing very novel about The Simpsons storyline.
No, there's nothing more that you could tell. I mean, the only thing that saves The Simpsons in general is that, as all cartoons are, which frustrates me sometimes, is that there's no forward time. Like, we get like 4 or 5 glimpses into the future that we're never going to see.
So folks don't age and stuff like that.
You know, like, that always drove me about cartoons, because I wanted to see, I'm a huge person who's into character development. Mm-hmm. And I think that the movie did that. The twist and everything about it was just
have you seen that Robot Chicken?
Yes. The M. Night Shyamalan, like,
yeah.
What a twist.
I showed Trinera that for the first time.
Yo.
She was like, what is wrong with you, dude?
But it's hilarious. Robot Chicken is amazing. But it's, man, I was blown away. Like I don't think I was expecting to love it as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's literally a black western. They took The Quick and the Dead and used and infused that into the movie. They took again our own thoughts and the music.
I think the music was great. I think there's an automatic assumption that there are no black cowboys.
Automatic.
Right. So
or that we were all like there was this post the other day, and this blew my mind. So Harriet Tubman was born 2 years after Thomas Jefferson died, or before he died, either before or after. Harriet Tubman did not die until 2 years after Ronald Reagan was born.
Yeah.
And like that point was when I was like, oh, we look at time so wrong in thinking of people's existences and when like things would have been going on. Like there were more, like there were black cowboys.
She's alive during the 20th century, basically.
Yeah. You know, we had black cowboys. There was black samurai and Yasuke. Not Yasuke. Forgive me. His name is his name. I'll remember it at some point. But we exist in other mediums, in a lot of other mediums. There's black mythology. There's, you know, all the black spirituality stuff. There's so many different avenues for us to reach into the pot. And this is how you do it. You don't have to do a million slave movies, because what gets me tired, and y'all know how I feel about slave movies. I think we did a whole episode one time of like around the Nate Turner stuff. And I was like, just stop. I don't even care about the off the field issues or whatever that's going on with him. Just stop. So, I don't know, man. I loved it. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more from this director. I hope that he continues to work with Jay and, you know, everyone else that he worked with on this team, so that way they can do more. It doesn't have to continuously be Westerns. I wouldn't be mad at it because, I mean, they left us with a cliffhanger somewhat at the end. So what are we doing next?
Well, next is a lovely little segment that we like to do.
What? Oh. There was music. Oh no. It's time for another episode of Whether or Not Wordplay TJ Can Guess the Anime Plot.
I'm focused, man.
Oh, I am. I don't know if you guys are, but I know that I am. Abrupt
That
stop.
was so abrupt. I was fading it down already.
You were.
I'm focused, man.
And I wanted to get back to touching on the sounds, and I was like, I can't do that with that music playing.
Oh my god!
So today you've got your picture, the name of this anime, and I do now.
What are the rules to Anime Plot?
Oh, the rules are: I give TJ the name of an anime and a picture from said anime. It can be like a title picture. It could even be a picture from its manga. But he has to guess the plot with knowing nothing about it. He gets no hints, no help from me outside of, you know, me trying to like look away and laugh because I have no poker face for this. And if he gets it right, he gets a...
Yeah, right.
If he gets it wrong...
Yeah.
But let's see where he's going to go right or wrong. The name of the anime that you will be guessing the plot on, I don't know why I've like froze on guessing, is Blue Period.
Interesting. All right. My knuckles don't have to crack right now, but crack. There we go.
There you go. I cracked.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness. I'm surprised I had that stored up.
Okay, so Blue Period, right? Mm-hmm. And for anybody that's just listening, be sure to check us out on YouTube and watch the clip for Anime Plots and watch the entire episode. So, what I'm seeing here, I'm an artist.
You are.
So I'm very familiar with art and history. It's very Van Gogh-ish. During his Blue Period. His Blue Period was very sad. So this is the context. I see a guy here, short, scraggly cut. He has a necktie.
Does indeed.
And a dress shirt. It's slightly undone, which means he's off of work. Right. He's also very sad looking. He doesn't have a guitar though, which would make him even more sad. If he had a cat, it would go to the next level.
Okay, what are these levels? Let's. We're not breaking from this,
all right,
but I
so
need
here's
the
the
levels.
levels of sad. Right. So you got regular blue sad.
Regular blue sad.
This is where he's currently at.
All right.
You have guitar blue sad.
I'm following you.
Where you're holding guitar. I don't know if you've ever seen that Van Gogh self-portrait, but
Okay.
it's pretty sad. There's guitar and cat blue sad.
Wait. Both?
Yeah, you just have both.
Oh my God, that is sad.
So you have really sad cats
Okay.
wandering around your place of dwelling, and you're blue about it. There's beyond that, which is in the bed with cats and a guitar sad.
Jesus Christ.
Because if you're in the bed, that means you haven't got out of it.
And then the cats are there, so you
Right.
are getting whatever. Oh my God.
Right. And the ultimate sad is grave sad, which is means you're.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So he's only at the first level
Okay.
of sad.
So what would
He
you
doesn't
say?
like his life.
Okay.
He doesn't like his job.
Okay.
He gets off his job.
Okay.
He drinks heavily, and he's trying to find his way through life.
What's his name?
His name is Terrence.
You normally give people names, so I was like, they wait on your names at this point because you give people names. Okay, so his name is Terrence.
And Terrence is
Terrence had very good parents. Like all I could think about is 8 months.
oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Terrence is a sad boy. He's a sad boy. He needs a new job. He wishes he could get out of the rat race, but he's not. He commutes to work via subway or train. And yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
So yeah. What's funny about this, you started
Or sad boy Terrence.
very in line with what the anime is about. Because you said, I'm an artist. And then you literally ran as far as you could away from what was actually right.
He's not wearing artist gear unless he's going to a gallery showing.
No. It's the embodiment of everything. So you immediately knew. I didn't even know
the plot. So like that, how they tell the story.
Yeah, the plot was in the name. I didn't even notice it until you said that Van Gogh went through a blue period.
Yeah, where all of his paintings were super blue and allegedly, well, maybe not allegedly, cut his ear off. So
I like the allegedly, not allegedly. Because didn't he have a self-portrait of the ear being cut off?
yeah,
I was like, wait a minute. Like, that's how lawyery you are. Allegedly of a man that's gone. But, you know.
I
But
don't
anyway.
want any problems.
So the
Van Gogh.
plot is, well, actually, I'll give you
Yeah, right.
about him being tired. So he's a high school student, A. He doesn't have a job.
That's why he dresses up.
That's why he
goes
dresses
to
up, because he goes to school.
culturally.
Now, he's a bit of a delinquent, which is why he does have the loose tie. But here's what it is. So what he is a guy who just wants to live a regular life. So while he appears to be a delinquent and he doesn't care about school, he's also a hard worker.
What's not regular about his life?
So wait, no, it is regular. He wants to, well, more so he wants to like follow the regular path. So basically go to school, go to college, get a job that pays.
How's this a challenge though?
We'll get there. So anyway, so he does that. And you know, his parents, like, they basically have to declare their career. It's kind of like how we do with, you know, the declaration of what college, blah, blah, blah. But they do in a way where they have to say, well, this is my career path. This is what I'm trying to do.
It's a literal declaration of independence.
Basically. And so his mom tells him that, you know, hey, we ain't got no money. So, like, you can't get into those, you know, whatever private school or whatever you're trying to do kind of thing preemptively, right? But he's like, he already knows he just wants to get some salary job, but he kind of feels blue and sad. And he feels a bit empty because he's just living. He's not speaking what he likes, right? So what happens is he stumbles across the art room and he sees a painting. And he sees a painting and he's moved by it. And so, you know, he's like, well, okay, cool. And they're in art class, and the teacher who's in art class is funny and says to him, well, hey, you know, you still have your project of what does, you know, this say to you? What does this look like to you? So he ends up painting a blue picture of Shibuya, which is a place in Japan, in Tokyo specifically. And he says, doesn't Shibuya in the morning look blue? And the guy's kind of reacting a way of like, whatever. So fast forward to the next day, he's in class. He puts up this picture. He gets a little bit of praise for this picture because, you know, for his first time drawing in this class where he doesn't really care, doesn't really pay attention, but he was able to, you know, he got into his mode, had this passion. From the painting he saw earlier, she was explaining to him how she got these greens and how she mixed the colors so that way this pulls you in, so on and so forth, right? And he ends up becoming enthralled with art, and now he wants to pursue going to college for art at the Tokyo Art University, which is one of the most difficult universities for them to get into if you're not like going into like a private school. There's only like 5 kids that get in a year.
Yeah.
So. And so he goes and pursues that. And what he also learns, the reason
way
why,
worse than the New York Art Institute.
The reason I love it and also think you should watch it, why I thought it was funny, because like I said, you started right on what you needed to start on. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, I wouldn't have even known that was the whole reason for the title. So he ends up finding his hardworking self, but he finds passion. And when you find hard work and passion and put those together, then you're on the path of your dream, but you're also on the path of discovering your way.
Ikigai.
Yes. Look at that.
I wrote about Ikigai in my book.
Right. So that's, and I think that this
ironically, fake blues.
Ha! Ironically. But you can also.
Stop pointing at stuff.
But it's down there. But yeah, it's anime I actually suggest you watch. I think you would enjoy it because they go through all of the art stuff that you already know.
Yeah.
But in a way that I think it really made, like, there's 5 episodes out right now. There's probably an episode that came out today, so it's probably 6. It'll probably be 7 by the time y'all hear this. Well, no, it'll still be 6. But anyway, I think it's something that you should watch. I think you would really enjoy this, the art aspect of it, the way that it kind of jumps off the page, and it kind of, I don't know, it just reinvigorated the creator in me, because I think that the creation and things that you and I do and the things that people expect to see, so on and so forth, are like really, really, really cool.
I'll add it to my maybe one day list.
Listen, this is gonna be one of those things I just have to like start doing. It's like one of the, like, yeah, I have nothing else for today. Watch this anime.
Let's cue the outro.
Hey, guys, that was another episode of Whether or Not Wordplay TJ Can Guess the Anime Plot. He did not win the prize today. Oh man, but maybe next week he can get the grand prize of knowing a little bit more about anime. I have nothing else to give you.
Yeah, no, no.
The look on your face was like, what
You
was I
don't
going to get?
deserve it. Last topic.
Hey.
So, my overarching question for this, my ballet question is, did you flip off the camera?
No, I was doing the.
Oh, I thought you.
I was doing the ballet
your
moves.
finger went up, and I was like, oh,
I hope not. I don't want to flip you guys off today.
That's how you feel, but.
Oh,
I love this. I love this like running joke of me secretly hating the audience.
It is such a thing.
It's so lovely. Anyway,
Like people are gonna start like you're gonna make fans like be like, "Hey TJ, how you doing?" And you're gonna like have to like become somebody or not. Like,
get away from me.
get away from me, you peasant.
What is wrong with you? I'm the host of the show. So the overarching question is: do musicians even stand a chance today? And the reason why this question exists is because I started thinking about the landscape of how people put their where people put their attention and their time into, right? So, on average, outside of your own music, how often do you actually listen to music, and where do you listen to it?
Daily and just about everywhere. So like shower always. Whenever I get in my car, it's a podcast or something.
Nope, just music. Just music.
So well, in the car it depends on where I'm riding to and how much time I got.
Okay.
Because like if I'm listening to music, I try to get like a good hour or two or more because I try to like vibe out. Or I fall on a single that I like love. Like I've been recently stuck on Lucky Days Over, and I just listen to it a lot because I like the song and I like the way he constructed it. So in those moments, so basically shower, in the car, but outside of that, I'm listening to podcasts or my own beats.
Okay, so I
got,
also
like 2 instances.
listen to music on a longer distance, but it's less like I'm less likely to do that. Listen to more podcasts and things of that nature. And
I still haven't listened to Damn.
I don't listen to music in the shower at all. I listen to lo-fi beats normally while I'm like working. Cleaning, I don't really listen to music much.
And when I'm cooking, if I don't put on a podcast.
Cooking, I also don't listen much. And so my point is, or my theory is that music consumption is on the downslide, and we can actually, kind of find out if this is fact-based and verifiable by just doing a quick Google search. But I'm just like, I wish I could reach this. Anyway, I'm speculating that music consumption is so bad that I wonder if it's worth it for most people to even go independent at this point.
Here's why I would say yeah. Because there's still more of a chance for you to get hot. Because all you need, again, we've always said this, all you need is one song. The difficulty for musicians as to whether or not you even start is, are you a person who takes time crafting your music, or are you a person who's able to just make music continuously? Because if you're not able to make music continuously, your shot rate is going to be very low. So
yeah, you do have to keep the folks engaged.
You either got to make your goal is to either make a classic or you make hits.
I don't want to read. I want to see some tracks.
And if you don't think you have the capacity to make a classic, and what I mean by that is you have to be able to make albums that make people miss you. So you have to somehow make yourself an Adele, a Beyonce, a Kendrick Lamar, well, the Roots have been pretty consistent, but of the Roots in that well, because there was a time where it would be a little bit of time before they came out with another album. You either have to be like that, or you just kind of have to engage music differently. So I don't think it's and this kind of ties into what we were just talking about with the anime. Mm-hmm. It depends on your passion as to whether or not it's going to be worth it. Because you told me before, we know that we're in the money is in the singles, is in period, just coming out with singles. Like the money isn't in the albums in the way that they used to be, in the sense that it's like, if you're not an R&B artist, or again, if you have not created the supply and demand that comes from great music, you pretty much just got to keep releasing. And you got to either release like every quarter, or you have to release even more frequently than that, depending, until something hits. And if something hits, that affords you with a little bit of time, maybe 2 to 3 months, to work on an album around whatever single caught heat, or just work on an album because you have the attention. But you have to kind of do those things in tandem.
But I'd argue that most folks don't want to hear albums, and which is why I think consumption is down in general, on top of like the many different ways we have an opportunity to listen to something. Mm-hmm. It's just not a priority to listen to music as much as it used to be, even though sales and revenue are up, that type of thing, but they're up mostly for the highest earners anyway, and the record labels. Ultimately, I don't think time spent, and according to this, weekly time spent in hours listening to music has gone down. It's trending downward, at least. In 2019, it was 26.9 hours in a week,
which is a day.
Yeah. So in a day, it's roughly pretty close to 4 hours or so, 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, I'm a little curious.
But I also think that music is also in different mediums, right? So that going down might mean a decline in people listening to the full album or a full song. But if they're listening to a TikTok with 6 of my bars in it, that's still, I don't even know if you get paid for that, but are we counting that as music consumption, right? Because it may count, but how do you calculate that? That's what I don't know. But that would be a thing of like, that's how people use music nowadays. Maybe you have to take it as a go platform by platform, how often the things are used, or how they use it, or watched, or whatever. Yeah. That would be more of a thing to me, because there are people who like, okay, how can we quantify the wobble or the Casper slide? I think in seconds, or total minutes, right, on average. Yeah. It's difficult, right? But it's not, I don't think it's impossible. So I don't know. I'm always going to say no, I don't think it's a lost cause for us to try and be artists in this day and age, even though people aren't listening to music that way, because I know music's general impact. And even if, and I kind of want to put it this like in this, in the spiritual light, right? So whenever people talk about the one for the 99, right? Jesus going after the one sheep or whatever, and being more joyous over that one person coming and listening than the 99 who are already understanding about the music. Mm-hmm. Or not the music, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. Jesus is music. But the reason I use that is because we as artists also have to value the environment that we change, because we do still change that environment, and that means something. It might not mean financial success for you. It might not mean billions or millions, but it might mean a good check. It might mean, someone's day was changed. Because even if we're not using it as continuously, because we're not as engaged in the radio. Radio isn't the most important thing in the world anymore, right? But the engagement of when we need music, we know when we need it and we still use it. And I think that that's worth something. It might not be worth, like whatever, 1 million streams, but that to me is always going to be worth something.
Okay.
Like if I can't listen to dadgummit, my favorite song off of the time stop motion video you did, it wasn't Overtime.
You mean Someone Else's Dream?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, my brain freezes. But that's like if I can't get my Someone Else's Dream like on a day where I'm like, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go and work on then I can't do it. Because if that wasn't there, I'm not saying that I wouldn't make the move, but it's still one of those quiet pushes that music has, or that peace that music can give.
I think 26 hours in a week is pretty fair, right? Like it's a day's worth, and the higher end of the chart that we saw was more like 32. So that's not much. That's not that much more, right? That's 6 hours more, which is like a shift at work. Yeah. It's just that by those statistics, that data, it doesn't seem like there has been much of an impact, right? It doesn't seem like it's that bad.
Right.
It is trending downward, but does that mean that indie musicians shouldn't try? I don't think so, but my mind is starting to shift. I think indie musicians have to try, but know that they're working in a different landscape.
Yes. No, like I said, you either have to know you're working with. See, TJ's mindset works this way, and I think that it's accurate for artists if you understand what it is that you're doing. Like, yes, the value of albums has gone down, but like I said, if that's what you're going to do or what you're deciding to do, then you need to come out with that heat. Like, I don't know how you could know it's heat, but your shots are going to be lower.
And heat is subjective, right? So like,
yeah, yes.
And what I say routinely is let it be good.
Yes.
And even good is subjective, but still, like, quality, I think there's certain quality control that you can create, right? Making sure pitches are right, making sure pitches are relative to the culture that matters, right? Because Indian music has a lot of not even half tones, so it's not even semitones, but tones that are ranging in pitches all up in between the notes. And so culturally relative, pitch control, a decent mix, a decent master on the record, right? So making sure the tonality or the musicality is there, and that's what I mean by good. Is the product well taken care of?
And then on the other end, it's also frequency. So if you're gonna go short game, which is one, I almost made it through the whole episode without because I had bumped it earlier, but there was no sound because I didn't.
Congratulations!
I almost made it. But if you're gonna just focus on the album aspect, then you need to make sure that it's good. If that's not gonna be what you focus on, then you need to focus on the frequency, and you need to keep going and getting good in a certain way of
exercise that muscle, sharpen that sword.
Like try whatever it is you want to try and just keep trying
your craft.
Because no matter what, as TJ has often alluded to and said, you're building a catalog, and that catalog has more value to you the more things you have in it. So
the more musicians that I talk to, the more data that I have on what becomes a failure point for folks. And most of the failure point is just failure to launch. Most of the time, it's I can't tell you how many musicians I've talked to, and they say that they're interested in doing it, but they only have one piece of work out. And I'm like, okay, so there's this tremendous amount of accessibility right now, like with one piece of artwork out into the world. I don't know if that's cutting it.
Well, no, that's also with an archaic mindset, because the archaic mindset of it is, I make this one piece of work. And are you saying like one piece of work, like one song or a body?
It could be both.
Okay. Well, if it's one piece
Whatever
of work,
it is, there's no consistency.
like if it's one song, look, bruh, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yes, there is an opportunity for that one song that you have to catch somebody's ear, and it does whatever you think it's gonna do, but that chance is almost as big as you win in the lottery. Now, if it's a body of work, the thought process still has to be, hey, your album is not going to be something that, hey, people are not digesting albums in the same way they used to. 1. 2, if you think somebody's going to listen through your whole album, you're mistaken. That's not like already a fan.
And there's data to prove that, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can, your analytics, right?
Yes.
And so, and I
if
know,
you don't, you need to.
I know my analytics very well. That's another point, right? It was like that failure to want to dig into the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some anxiety there, right?
Yeah.
If you see the numbers, if you know the numbers, it just kind of reinforces some negative thoughts about yourself sometimes. But I know from looking at my numbers and my data, and different platforms perform differently for me. If somebody doesn't listen through, like, that's an easy tell that I just need to get better. And many people don't even, it's there. It's there for you to find out.
Or
and many people don't take the chances.
Here's the thing that I love the most about your quantity mixed with quality, because you're never foregoing the quality. The more opportunities you shoot. So say that the first song you make is your favorite song. You love it. You think it's a masterpiece. No one else seems to think that. If you keep shooting, you get one shot in.
Or it could be a masterpiece and nobody has been exposed to it.
And that's the thing. So when you keep shooting, you get something that exposes people to you. And then what everyone does when they find an artist that they like, or maybe this is an older practice. So when you're trying to get the 20-somethings, the older 20-somethings and us 30-somethings, here's the thing. If you catch me with a song, I'm going to look into your catalog. So that's the other point about keeping your shots up. Because if I don't like the one song that you think I should like, and that's the only song you got, you out of there.
But I think part of the problem is, as my peas explode into the microphone, part of the problem is that that one song never reaches folks' ears. And unfortunately, just posting it on your social media doesn't mean that it's gonna do that. And there may have to be some advertising dollars spent behind your music, whether it be Facebook or Google ads. Obviously, I recommend Facebook, but
especially now,
right? But ultimately, it just comes to a point where artists got to realize that consistency is important. The quality of the product is important, and actually sharing that product with other people are 3 major touch points when it comes to independent career.
And give yourself a chance.
Whether you make millions or not. Right?
Yeah.
So
give yourself a chance. You don't give yourself a chance if you're still in the archaic mindset of the one thing that I created is going to be the thing that gets me somewhere. You have to kind of, I feel like at this point, and I've switched my mind so heavy on this, you have to give yourself more opportunity. Not just, and it's not just for money. If you are so stuck in one song, how will you grow as an artist? How are you planning to grow as an artist? You know, unless if you're doing something different, like if you're a longer formed artist, right? Then you need to be more focused to me on your content. So I need to be in on the process of what it is you're doing while you're creating this album. You know, maybe you make short form content of you writing. Maybe you make short form content of the behind the scenes. Maybe you vlog about your feelings and your things that are going on with this album.
The feels.
So that way you can have some form of content. But as TJ said a million times before, it's about just putting it out there. So just put it out there. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter whether the numbers go up, down, left, or right. If you join music because you think you're just going to be an instant millionaire, then you did it for the wrong reasons in the first place. Those that we see on TV that become instant millionaires that we're like, how did they do it? Or how I can't believe that they like this. Majority of the time, it's a gimmick and it's built around something that's not going to hold them for another 10 years.
And I'll end with this point. Like I got into music because I knew it was going to be a longevity type of thing. And so therefore I'm not going to stop making music until I can no longer breathe. And so that's just where I am. Will it be hip hop? I don't know. Will it be a blend of other genres? That's to be determined right now. But ultimately, I will be continuing up until the day that I'm gone, and that's important. That's an important thing to have, because the thing that I have along with that is the ability to master the craft. Mm-hmm. And you can't master the craft unless you put in the hours. You're somewhat good at it, and you continue to kind of sow the seeds.
Wordplay, TJ. Folk album coming soon.
Anyway, you could argue that Nothing Less is a folk album, but
you could.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, but you could.
Anyway.
I would more so argue that it's just dope. But if you have enjoyed any of this conversation that we've been having, I think you should join Patreon. I think that you should be a part of our group. I think that you should join us, and I don't know, check out all of the different packages that we have, because we ain't asking you for $1 million. At the least, we're asking for $5 million.
You turned into infomercial William Shatner just now.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
what we're doing.
Join the
Okay, now I hear
Patreon.
But I do think you should join the Patreon. Give us $5 a month. You pay that in subscriptions alone. You pay $12 for less dope content that will be catered to you, because when you pay that $5, not only are you going to get shout out because you're a patron, but there's a lot of other things that you'll get. You'll get the overtime conversations that we do once a month, and you'll just be further engaged with the On The Map Music Group, Wordplay TJ, Music Advice. There's all kind of things that are going to be growing with that. Grow with us, grow with our community, if you have not already, because we do this from the underdogs, and that means you.
Cool. That was a great pitch.
Until next time, a 1 and a 2 and a peace.